Episode 4, a really fun one with two of the strongest and youngest women here in the UAE. One is a powerlifter and the other a weightlifter. We talk about everything from Meg squats and Stefi Cohan to Kai Green. We talk about wrestling and basketball to overcoming obstacles and achieving whatever you put your mind to, no matter how young you are. We expected a really crazy and fun time. Raiya and Joelle did not disappoint. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. And don't forget, if you like what we do, subscribe, like, and share. Please tell your friends. So without further ado, here's Raiya and Joelle on the Project Generation Strong podcast. Stay strong and stay hungry, my friends.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the Project Generation Strong podcast. Today we are sitting with two of my favorite people in this world, two of the upcoming superstars in our region. We're sitting with Joelle Chamsaddine.
Hi.
Who is an Olympic lifter and just turned 18. When did you turn 18?
No, I turned 20.
You turned 20, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you turned.
I
just
turned
18.
One of the youngest, and she's also an ex-wrestler. She's done bodybuilding shows. She's also done a powerlifting meet, or a couple of powerlifting meets, right?
I just did one.
Just did one, yeah. And actually, what did you stand? You came second.
I got second in most wilt and bar weight versus body weight.
There you go. In her first. We're sitting with Raiya also, who just turned 18 now, am I right?
Yeah, just turned 18.
There you go. And she's an upcoming powerlifter in our region. Also goes to school around this area.
Yep.
And this is also her school's basketball team captain. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. I'll let you guys continue your riot now. Let me just pose the questions, and then you guys can go off, especially you. Okay, let's talk about the wonder years. Growing up. So what was growing up like, and was fitness in the family? Was it friends, relatives, anyone? Who started us off? Where did you?
Well, honestly, there wasn't really anybody in my family who did fitness. Probably two of my cousins did bodybuilding for a while, never competed. But no, it solely came from me. I was never a sporty person growing up. Never. I would skip sports class. I would make excuses. I would hide in the locker. I would do whatever it takes not to go to PE class. And I remember my marks were terribly low because that wasn't my thing. I was just kind of always in my own bubble, doing something that will probably get me into trouble.
Wow.
But that thing was never sports.
Oh, we would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Never.
It's my secret identity.
Oh, so when did you catch the bug?
By the time I was 15, I moved schools, and I've lost a lot of friends, gained so many friends, and it was just all happening so quickly. So I kind of fell into that, crisis when you just get lost and you don't know what you're doing anymore. That's where I found wrestling, and I just got, so into it, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be a wrestler. I just kind of it kind
You were
of
15, yeah?
yeah, it hit me really hard. Then I'm like, okay, my depression started getting really worse, so I started working out as a little bit of a relief, and I wanted to get in shape for the time I had become a wrestler. So that's where it kind of all started.
Okay, so you were going through a phase of depression too?
Yeah, I had very bad, I went through a really bad phase of depression, and I had really bad temper issues as a teen. I was just a whole messed up.
I would have never
No, of course not.
So workout really like helped you with that, eh?
Yeah, because academically and generally in life, I didn't know where I was going anymore, and then it was just kind of like I kept missing school. Like I would miss school for like 4 or 5 days in a row because I didn't want to go. I couldn't get out of I honestly could just not get out of bed in the morning. I constantly kept falling sick, and it's just like my life was just kind of going down in a spiral. And it was like if I had not found fitness, I don't even know where I would be today. Like honestly speaking.
Wow, like I didn't know that. Well, good on you, mate. Okay, Ryan. Tell us about you.
I was honestly the complete opposite. I grew up playing sports every single day after school. I was on sports teams. I've probably played every single sport that is in existence. I was on softball team, soccer team, basketball team, volleyball team, track team, swim team. Did golf for like a couple months.
Golf.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was in 6th grade, but like I've done every single sport, and it took me until I was 16 to walk into a gym. Like it took me
When
that
you were
long.
legally of age to walk into a gym.
Literally, yeah. That was it. So yeah, and within my family, the only person that did any sports was my dad. He was a state champion wrestler when he was in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Wow. I didn't know that.
But then other than that, like no one else did sports, so it like completely came from me and just wanting to be outside, playing sports with other people, just wanting to get fit.
So what age did you catch the bug in? 16, right?
16, but I was just doing like bodybuilder stuff minus
What
the diet.
What made you get into the gym versus like you're playing so many sports?
I wanted to be hot. Like I just wanted a hot body. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go lift some weights. And then I realized like that's not all there is to working out, and I wanted to just be strong. So
Very nice.
I did that.
Role models growing up.
Oh my
Role
god.
models, and let's group it in mentors. Role models and mentors.
Definitely Kai Green.
I agree.
I think that would be he would be one of my biggest mentors. And if we're talking like life mentors, definitely, yeah, he would be.
Definitely, but the stuff that he puts out there is so true.
It's
so,
amazing.
like,
I've learned everything from Kai.
so humble, so like,
Packing my meals, the hoodie, and everything. It really came from Kai. And role models in my sport right now, probably Maddie Rogers.
nice.
And that's about it. Like these are the only two I could think of at the
And
moment.
Maddie's like what, 21, 22 now?
23.
23 now. Huh?
And probably, yeah, and my mom. Definitely, I pick up a lot from my mom. I learn a lot from my mom because it just kind of like, I look outside so much and I'm like, I see so many people and so many things happening, and then like, I kind of look back and it just, I see what my mom has been through, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's my role model right here. So definitely my mom,
Nice.
one of my biggest role models. Like, I don't really have so many. Probably, I think the main one would be Bart Simpson. Bart.
Yeah. No, I get that. I can see that.
Bart, yeah.
If there was one thing that you got, say, I know you've taken a lot from all that. If there's one thing that you got from Kai Green, what was it? Just one thing.
Definitely, I also just remembered one more person. This person had like a huge impact in my life as a wrestler as well. AJ Lee.
Yes. Okay.
She actually she just made that huge kind of
Yeah.
change. Like it just kind of helped me become the woman I am today, and it's like she just made me feel
Yeah.
so
Amazing.
comfortable in my own skin, like being myself, being different, being crazy. Just like it's okay to be you. Just do whatever you want to do as long as it makes you happy.
And she's not overly like jacked or anything like
No.
that. She's just like beautiful and like,
Yeah, and it's who she is,
Yeah.
and that's what made me. I looked up to a lot of the wrestlers, and I think it kind of helped me a lot out of my depression, and it helped me a lot. It helped me find who I am,
Yeah.
and it's helped me through a lot of tough years in my life. But answering your question, definitely one thing I've learned from Kai Green is you can always be looked at as like the loser in the room, but you know, you still end up proving everybody wrong.
Good. Well said. Maddie Rogers.
Maddie, I definitely look up to, you know, how fast she's improved in the sport. Like, she's only been, I think, 2 to 4 years or less, and it's like she's done so much, and she's been in so many
I think
competitions.
she went from like a 70 kilo in the beginning to like a 140 kilo now in like 4 years, right?
Yeah,
Something
which
like
is
that.
insanely
It's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just I don't know, like, I was looking up and like lifters and looking at everybody, and I'm just like, oh wow, like she just caught my attention, and I'm just like, you know, like, you ever see that someone you just kind of feel like you could relate to them?
Yeah.
And it's like, I love her lifting style and love everything like that she does. And I just find it really cool, like the amount of work she put in and how fast she progressed is amazing.
Good, yeah.
Because
I wanted to clarify. I actually meant clean and jerk.
yeah,
I
clean
didn't
and
say-
jerk.
I didn't mean weight.
Oh my God.
Like 70 to 140. No.
That just went over my head.
Great job, McDonald's. Okay, and what would you get from AJ Lee? What would you take from AJ Lee? One thing, really quick.
Always be a hard worker, because her and I came from a very similar background, and it's like, you know, like, to come from nothing and to actually make yourself, like, this is the thing I tell people the whole time. I wasn't an athlete growing up.
Yeah.
So getting into the eating, getting into the habit of all this, like, I literally had to kind of break myself down and then build myself back up again slowly, and that was hard, but it's doable. Like, I went from being a person who slept at like 3 in the morning, woke up at 4 in the evening, or like 2 in the evening, to someone who actually wakes up at 4 in the morning and probably goes to bed at 10 in the evening. So
Michelle. What did you take from your mom?
that you can do
Really quick.
that you could do everything on your own. You don't really need someone there for you to do everything.
Good. Good.
Just like
good
do it.
advice, yeah.
Do it.
Right.
Go for it.
My life role model is 100% my mom. She's the like strongest person I know. Maybe not like physically, like she can't like squat 200 kg, but she's the strongest person I know. She grew up in war. I mean, she's had like such a hard childhood, and then she was valedictorian of her high school at 16. She got her bachelor degree at 19. Like, my mom is incredible, and honestly, like, I learned so much from her. She's just an amazing woman. And then on the sports side, my role model right now is definitely Stefi Cohan. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my God, I just
Oh yeah.
binge watch videos of her just like deadlifting,
Deadlifting.
just over and over, just deadlifting.
She cost 500 now, no?
Yeah.
Like a couple of months
I think
ago.
at the Reebok record breakers, she got just under 500, but in like
Like
the
2 months ago or
gym,
something, she
yeah,
did
in the
like
gym she did
525.
525. Yeah, she's incredible.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be the next Stefi Cohan. The 72 kg, the 72 kg Stefi
You know
Cohan.
who you're going after then. You know Jessie, I kissed her.
Ooh,
She's 72
yeah.
as well.
I know.
Like she's.
I'll get her.
Oh yeah, Jessie.
Yeah. Big
Coming for you.
Calling you out, Jessie. Calling you out.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else in sports?
I mean, the person who indirectly got me into powerlifting was Meg Squats. I did not know what powerlifting was until I came across her YouTube videos, and when I saw her videos, I was like, that is what I want to do. I want to compete in this. This is gonna be my life sport. I gotta do it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Next one, you changed your life. There you go. You got this pretty lady who's like smashing weights right now. She's coming out for you too, by the way. Awesome. One thing you got from your mom?
Mental strength,
Mental strength.
definitely. Perseverance, determination, just working past your circumstances.
Don't go on things too much. Just move forward.
Oh yeah.
Stefi Cohan.
Well, physical strength, obviously, but
Anything is possible.
definitely anything is really possible if you want it enough and if you work hard enough for it.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit,
Yeah.
definitely. Next quotes.
that doing what you love can be hard, but it is also super fun and super rewarding, and nothing has to hold you back.
Did you just turn up the volume again? Thanks, Alex. You're so kind. Okay, this is a fun question. Pony legs, where did that come from?
Oh, okay.
So, so for people who don't know, she's also known as Pony Legs. Her Instagram is also
Pony legs. Everyone.
Pony legs.
So,
Everyone
funny
calls
enough,
her
some
Pony
people
Legs.
don't even know my name, which is Joelle.
Yeah.
And like I just get called Pony.
Pony, yeah.
Like I got people coming up to me, hey Pony, how's it going? And I'm like, hi.
and the ironic thing is that she has probably one of the best set of legs on a woman you'll see.
Oh, thank you. I'm flattered.
I gotta second that.
Minus the flat bone. But, just kidding. Okay, tell us, where did this name
prep
Pony Legs come
feels.
from?
It's prep feels. I'm not even getting any carbs.
Do you want to show the camera your
No,
lips?
it's okay. I like sitting on it instead of showing it to people. There you go. It all started out as a joke, to be honest, because I was prepping for. That was still when I did bodybuilding. I was prepping for a show. My legs weren't coming down, and like all the girls just looked so amazing. Like they had like nice long legs and like all like toned and shredded and huge like horse looking legs, and I'm just kind of like, oh, you know, the mini version of people, you know. And then I'm just like, so the fat my legs was not coming down, and I'm like, I just went up to my coach once and I was like, my everybody has unicorn legs and I got pony legs. These pony legs ain't coming down. And then ever since then, like that thing just caught on like fire. Pony legs, pony legs this, pony legs that. And then I'm just like, well, I guess I am pony legs. And then it just, like it really started as a joke and it just caught on from there. It's like
Amazing.
spot on.
Amazing. It's very entertaining story. So we touched upon the wrestler a bit, a little, the wrestler portion a bit. What is, how far did you go? And tell us a little bit about that experience.
It was amazing. I was the first ever female wrestler in the Arab region. Like I was the first one who actually started this in here.
MashaAllah.
And I've gotten a lot of opportunities, a lot of interviews. I worked with NBC, BBC, Wall Street Journal, CNN. I've worked with so many people. It was amazing. And I've actually was supposed to do a tryout for the WWE twice. And I was actually supposed to be involved in one of their events. I think it was it was a 2016 event because that was the first event that they actually got female wrestlers in, which was insane. I was recognized by Daniel Bryan, so it opened a lot of doors for me, and it was truly amazing. I've only actually wrestled guys. I've never wrestled a woman before. Which
I know.
was,
I was like baffled. Like this woman grew up wrestling guys, like, and then wanting to be like the top in her game. It's amazing how she, like, wow. At what age? 16, 17?
16, 17.
That's crazy.
Like, and what was the biggest guy you ever wrestled? How much did he weigh? Or how old was he?
He was, what was it? I think he was like 20, 21.
Okay.
He approximately weighed around 195 pounds.
195 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
So for some reason I thought kilos.
Oh God, no.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. I would be the Incredible Hulk by now. No, he was quite big. He, like, if we're talking kilos,
And what were you at that time? And he was 195. You were?
I was probably like 57, which is I think 120 pounds.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I was very small as a wrestler. I weighed like anywhere between 57 to 60 kilos, and that was the heaviest I've ever weighed as a wrestler. It was fun. It was really good. It was an amazing opportunity. I think I enjoyed it a lot. A lot.
Why'd you stop?
I actually have a back birth defect where like 2 of my vertebrae are like attached together by birth. So there's no there's no cartilage.
Disc,
There's like
sorry,
no
disc.
there's no disc material
Yeah.
between them. So when you're constantly taking bump after bump after bump after bump, like there is no like
Ouch. Yeah.
there's nothing to really support or take the shock, and then
So-
it gets very painful. And like when you're wrestling people that are really twice your size, it
Oh, yeah.
gets very, very painful. Like I think the last time I was
Can
in
you
the ring,
imagine?
I think the last time I was in the ring, I was slammed to a turnbuckle, and like it was so painful. I just rolled out, and like I literally felt like my body was shaking, and that's when I was like, okay, you know what, no more. Because I went against the doctor's orders. I also hurt my neck. I went against the doctor's orders. Like my spine was actually starting to go out of shape. Like my lumbar spine started sticking out way more. I actually have a straight neck. So it's a whole load of disasters up in my back.
Yeah, okay.
So it wasn't working out for me health-wise anymore. And that's just something.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that's good call.
Yeah.
Good call, because so many people don't know when to stop, and they're blinded by the glamour. And
Yeah.
I mean, you say WWE comes knocking on your door, and it's like you can, that's amazing. And for those of you who don't know, Raiya is leaving us to go to the States in another
Unfortunately.
How many months?
In like 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. And to be an engineer,
An architect.
an architect.
Maybe engineer. I might switch. Maybe. I don't know.
And how did that come about? Why architect?
I don't know. I've always been an all-rounded student, like pretty good at everything. But the things that I always loved the most were art and science. And architecture is the beautiful mixture between art and design and physics and math and all those amazing things. So,
Any preferred schools you want to go to? So we can give them a
Cornell, if you're watching this,
We'll make sure it's tagged.
please accept me and give me a full scholarship. I will definitely attend.
Cornell, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wanted to talk a little bit about. We'll get into background. So, what is your background? You're Middle Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Both of you are Middle Eastern.
Uh-huh.
And what's your background? Where are you from?
No, I'm from Lebanon. Like what?
Like,
Oh.
this is the
But
background.
a lot of
No,
graffiti.
no, that's
Yeah.
What are you talking about, right?
A lot
I
of
don't understand your Indian accent.
No, that's not what I like. Do not put words into my mouth.
Lebanese.
Yeah.
Lebanese. Nice. When did you come to Dubai?
2010.
Oh, wow. You're only here for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. MashaAllah.
I think you guys haven't been here as long as I have you?
I have.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. At least I don't.
No,
feel-
I grew up here. Like I was here from '96 to 2006,
Oh my god!
and then I left for Toronto.
So that was like 1 year before I was born, 1996.
Yeah. Okay. Way to go. Yeah. And what about you? What about yourself?
I am half Lebanese, half American.
Amazing.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a nice mix.
It's pretty good.
Pretty cool mix.
Yeah.
And when did you get to Dubai?
Last year.
Nice. Where were you before that?
I was in Bahrain for 6 years, and then I was in San Diego, California before that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
San Diego to Bahrain, eh?
No comment.
No comment. Okay. Moving on. Competitive life. So, you have been competitive for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Wrestling and then
Bodybuilding.
bodybuilding. So tell us more about bodybuilding. From like wrestling to bodybuilding?
Yeah. So after my injury, I really always wanted to do like a bodybuilding show. Like I just wanted to do it, and I'm just like, okay. Since my neck is injured, I'm gonna try out for it. And then I just got bit by the competing bug, and I'm like, okay, well, this isn't like. I spoke to my coach. I'm like, this isn't really working out for me anymore. Like my back is on the line, my neck's on the line. I don't think I can do this anymore. And that's where I kind of shifted over to bodybuilding. I had already finished my first show, and then I started preparing for my second show. It didn't last for so long. Like I only got competitive in bodybuilding for a year,
Okay.
not any longer. And then it was quite fun. It was a lot of fun, but you have to adapt to it as a lifestyle. Like that has to be your life, and like sometimes you have to actually take very drastic measures in order to be stage ready. And I stopped around the beginning of 2017. I was doing a show, and it was very, very different. Like it felt very different, and I didn't enjoy it. Like I just saw it for like I didn't see myself doing it anymore. Health wise, a lot of like it took a huge in a lot of ways, and I just didn't see myself in it anymore, which a lot of people found such a bummer, because it's like, how could you jump from wrestling to bodybuilding? Like you have to make up your mind. And I'm like, I'm only 20 years old. Like you're not supposed to know what you want by this age. Like it's, and you know, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
I think, yeah, and I'm going to second that thought because if you touched upon something which is very important where I think a lot of the professional female fitness physique, they know that it's a gradual process.
Yeah.
And you have to go slow and steady, step by step, right? It's not like in 1 year I'm going to stand on the world stage. For that, you need to take drastic measures or drastic steps too. When you're taking fat burners and you're taking other supplements and you're taking shit that, you know, so it's not supposed to be taken. And you know, you did touch upon that. So I think that's a word of advice. And it's like, just take your bloody time. If
Take
you're
your
in
time.
bodybuilding or any sport, I think. You know, bodybuilding is a little bit more like, because it's so subjective too.
Yeah.
So take your time and work on your weaknesses. And work, you know, and you can't build your bum in like 6 months.
No.
If you got glutes, if your glutes are your weakness, and you can't build those peaches in 6 months, can you?
No, for sure.
No. If your back is your weakness, you know, you can focus on it and you keep going and going and going, and you work on that symmetry and that beauty. So it's just like Arnold would say, it's like, you know, it's a painting, or you know, you're sculpting your own body. So
I trained for 2 years before stepping on stage, like nonstop, and I was dieting fully. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I don't bash the
you look
lifestyle.
great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna try to pull up some pictures for you guys. Yeah,
I-
from her Instagram feed.
I still live the same lifestyle. I still get up at 4 a.m. I still count my macros. I still weigh my food. I still schedule my cheat meals. I still live the same exact lifestyle, but now it's just a little bit different. But it's not that I, like a lot of people thought, oh, she quit because she can't live this lifestyle anymore. She can't diet anymore. And it's like, no, like it's there's way more into it than eating broccoli and tilapia out of a Tupperware and like waking up at 4 a.m. There's way more into it. Like I think this is just the surface of bodybuilding that what people think is hard, but there's a lot more into it. And unless you've actually stepped on a bodybuilding stage, you won't get it.
Got it. Cool. And when did your competitive or we'll go to you from like, okay, when did this powerlifting thing start? You said at 16, right? Or when did it start?
No. Powerlift, like bodybuilding, started at 16. Actually, it started February 26th, 2016. I remember. And then
2016.
yeah, and then literally like a year later, I started powerlifting, like training in powerlifting, and then it was July of 2017. I did my first competition in the States, and it was like, okay, I was the only girl competing in this competition.
Oh my god.
So it was in Arkansas. Yeah, I won. First place, state champion. Woo! So it was me in Arkansas competing with the American Powerlifting Association and like 20 dudes, huge guys, like pulling crazy numbers, and then there was me, like a little beginner, like pulling 225 pounds.
I'm sure you got all the cheers though.
I did.
I mean,
it was an amazing experience, honestly. Like from that moment, I was hooked.
That's what I think I loved about it. That's kind of what got me, like, you know, even more into it was just the community.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's just
like it doesn't matter if you're lifting 100 pounds or 1,000 pounds, you're gonna get cheers and support from the crowd.
Yeah,
and it
doesn't
feels
matter,
amazing.
You know, you know, I think that's what got me into powerlifting.
Yeah.
Cool. Let us talk. So you moved from bodybuilding then to what? Olympic lifting or
Hybrid.
hybrid?
Yeah, because after my show that I didn't do, I took a break for a while. Not off training, but like just off everything, because it was just very like, it was something I prepared for like, oh my god, like 4 months, like, and it's like, it was crazy. It was the hardest prep I've ever had, and not making it to the stage kind of like, it just screws with you mentally. Like, I've been working my butt off for like the past 4 months, and I don't get to make it to the stage. Like, that's not cool, but it's because I actually felt very ill. So I just, like, since I was eating a lot more, so I started moving bigger numbers on like squats, and like my best friend is a power lifter, so he's like, why don't you just kind of give bench, squat, and deadlift a try? And I'm just like, okay. So I started, and it was fun. Like, hey, it was cool. So I started going to the the Power Room where I train. There's a place called the Power Room.
The
that's
Power Room.
the Power Room.
That's a training stuff.
Yeah, that's a training
it's
stuff.
called the Power Room.
Come say hi. No, I'm just kidding. Don't bother me. Just kidding. So like there is like an entirely different community. You got Olympic lifters, you got power lifters, and I just remember one day I walked in and like the Olympic lifters were training, and don't get me wrong, I've seen Olympic weightlifting on TV a couple of times before, even as a child. I've seen it on TV, and it's just like, oh my god, this kind of looks interesting. I'm like, and I just sat there watching, and I'm like, okay. I kind of want to try this, so I walked in 2 days later and I tried doing it with the bar, and it was like so weird. And like one of my really good friends, she does weightlifting, and I'm like, yo, I think I kind of messed up my bicep trying to do it clean. And she's like, babe, you're probably just muscling the bar. You're not supposed to do it like that. And I'm like, no. And I've had
Rookie mistake.
Indeed, rookie mistake. So I had a friend who trained me for it for a little bit, but then I kind of continued it on my own. Yeah. And the weightlifting community that was training were very supportive, like, you know, like correcting my form, making sure I do it right. My friend who did weightlifting kind of helped me into it, and then, you know, it started accumulating so much over time on me. I just was like, so exhausted, and like when I would focus more on my powerlifting, my Olympic lifting suffers, vice versa. I'm just like, other girls do it, why can't I do it? And then you kind of look into it, and then you kind of notice that these girls who do hybrid, like, I'm not bashing, but like, one thing suffers for sure.
Definitely.
So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm doing hybrid. I don't care. I can't make up my mind.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, the powerlifting meet came up, and that's where I competed in. And a lot of people think I'm a CrossFitter. I'm not. I honestly can't run if my life depended on it. But I just referred to myself as a hybrid because I just couldn't really make my mind up on what I wanted. Like, you know, I can't just walk in out of bodybuilding and be like, I want to be a powerlifter. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I just can't jump. Like, you literally can't just label yourself as something. You just find what works for you, and it's like, I'm still kind of a rookie when it comes to strength sports. I've only done strength for like, not even a year. Like half a year, 6 months. I started in April-ish, yeah, April 2017. It's not even April 2019.
Wow. And
yeah.
what are you cleaning right now?
Oh, my clean and jerk is 65
kilos.
Yeah. Snatch is 40. Back squat is 117.
Woo.
Front squat is 95.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
Front squatting over 200. Right? Nice. And you've only been strength training for like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
What have I been doing all my life? My life has been a lie. All right, and yourself, what are your numbers? No.
My numbers right now, okay, I'm going to talk in pounds.
Right,
Yeah. So, 1 month ago, got my 300-pound deadlift. Finally. My bench is still at 120. I haven't tried to go higher since October. And my squat is 220.
220.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. It's amazing stuff.
Amazing. 300, 220, 520, 640 right now. We're sitting at 640.
Total, that's
640. That's pretty cool. Awesome. All right, let's get into more training. Okay? More like training talk. Frequency. You train 10 days in a week, right?
10 days. I actually thought about it for a second. I'm like, hey, do I actually train for 10 days a week? What?
I train 11.
No, whatever.
saying.
I train like 50 days a week. No, I train 6 days a week, doubles.
12 workouts a week.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah, yourself. And she still has so much energy. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the hell she's on.
Yeah, I'll take some of that.
Yeah, I'll take some of that too.
I'll hook you up later.
Yeah, I train powerlifting 4 days a week and basketball 5 days a week.
So currently you're only playing basketball or other sports?
Yeah, just basketball.
Just basketball.
Don't have time for more.
Oh yeah. So that's like about what? Basketball's about 2 hours?
Yeah.
And then you have your training session, which is about 2 hours as well? Yeah, that's
Crazy.
like 9
Math.
times 4. That's like 36 hours a week.
No. 18.
18. Okay. Well, okay. Let's see. Let's talk about this. How does basketball transfer, or does it transfer? Does powerlifting transfer to basketball?
Powerlifting definitely transfers to basketball because I'm a power forward, so like I need to be strong. I need to be able to like push past people, get the ball up, which I'm really bad at, by the way. Like
You are.
like kind of. Like I fall over a lot more than you think I would. But yeah, but it's okay. But yeah, the strength from powerlifting like really does help, because basketball, I mean, it's a non-contact sport, but you have to be so physical, so aggressive, and like that comes from powerlifting for me.
Did you see a difference in your basketball game ever since you started powerlifting? Any noticeable changes? Immediate or gradual?
I don't know if I can blame it on powerlifting.
Okay.
I don't know, because I mean, at my old school, so like before last year, I was at a school that really didn't give a crap about sports. We practiced at lunchtime once a week.
Okay.
And now I'm at a school where we practice 5 days a week, 2-hour practices. And I mean, that intensity is crazy. So I think that's what made me improve more than powerlifting.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we heard an insistence story the other day. If you want your teeth broken, then you go to her. She'll elbow you in the face.
Sorry.
Come on about that.
Oh, okay. We won't talk about that.
I've hit many people in the
Let's
face.
move on. It's a non-contact sport.
Yeah.
Reminder. Training programs. What kind of training program are you on?
I follow my own, so I mainly, of course, like I don't really do doubles the whole time, but I have phases. So normally in the morning, like if I'm not preparing for something, of course, like I put in a lot of WODs in there, like just to kind of get my cardiovascular activity, going.
Yeah, she's not a CrossFitter.
I am not. I promise. The last time I did cardio was 2 weeks ago. Promise.
Oh, wow.
Like I didn't even touch up on cardio. No, but I do accessories in the morning, and I mainly squat in the morning. I do like pulls as well sometimes. And then in the evening, I clean and jerk, I snatch, and then I do the way more complicated stuff. So I find it much easier to split it. Like I know guys who will come in and train for 4 hours straight. I just don't find that I have.
I could never.
I don't know. I don't. For some reason, I just can't.
Yeah.
Or like if I have to, I'm gonna eat protein bars enter workout, and that's not good for my scale weight. So, cause your girl likes food, so I'm just saying. So that's not good on my scale weight. So
Just down half a red velvet cake the other day.
I just had like a small piece of it.
You said you're down like half a
You
cake.
said half a cake.
I said half a piece. Oh my god, hold on.
You said half a cake.
not.
She did say half a cake, didn't she?
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
So,
Bark.
yeah, I just
You want
accessories
that
in
on
the
camera,
morning.
so it's okay.
I don't care. I could eat my own weight in cake. Try me. But no. Okay, listen. Seriously. Accessories in the morning. So basically just presses as well and all these things like strength work. And then just main lifts in the evening. And I keep it very simple. Like I just keep it very simple. I keep it at this. If it doesn't work with your goal, if it affects you in any way, let it go. Honestly, because if I'm actually preparing for something and I have something that is lagging and I'm actually working on something else, that's like, oh my god, I need to cook food, but I'm procrastinating and watching TV. Ugh. No, you have to actually focus on what you're doing. So I keep it very simple when it comes to like. It's honestly the best advice anyone can ever give is.
Have you worked on anyone's programs before? Have you trained like on someone else's programs before?
I don't do strength training. I do more of, strength for beginners. But I do strongly believe in reps. The reps get you to the numbers you want. And I strongly believe that, unless you're comfortable getting under a certain weight, you don't get under it. Like, just honestly, I just leave your ego at the door. I don't because honestly, it's not worth hurting yourself because you want to get that extra 2 kilos or you want to get that extra 1 kilo.
Today. It's like, wait, you'll get it.
You'll get it, yeah, eventually. Like
train hard for it, yeah.
Exactly. Like if your reps, honestly, are one of the biggest ways, and it depends. Like some people are very good at endurance, so if you give them a lot of reps, they're cool. But then if you give them like doubles and singles at heavy weight, like they're like, I can't do this. And some people are vice versa. So I would design someone's program accordingly to what they need to be doing. You know, and I just work with people from scratch. A lot of people want to get into
I was talking about yourself.
Oh, myself. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I definitely, for me, I like being comfortable under the way I'm living. Like I would never.
Have you trained with a coach before?
Huh? Yeah, I have.
Under like a program?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I trained with Adam Fulat. Amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly,
I'm
shout
trying to
out.
I'm gonna
Shout
get
out.
I'm gonna get Adam.
Shout
I'm
out.
gonna get Adam here soon.
Because his numbers, like with his program, I've increased. I deadlifted double my body weight on his program and meet because I was 68, deadlifted 135. So literally 2 or 1 kilos away from my body weight. And my bench went up from like 55 to 65. Squat went up from 100 to 112, 105 to 112.
Good.
So it like, and it's definitely like patience when I did powerlifting. And he designed my program in a way where you could still do hybrid, which was really cool. But yeah, like with myself, I just use this. Leave here, you go out the door. You're comfortable under the weight, get under the weight. You don't feel comfortable under the weight, don't get under the weight. It's that simple. And do what works for you.
Amazing. No, I definitely like Adam's like mentality. I think it's so quiet. You know, he's ripped.
Yeah.
He's also smashing like 550 squats.
Yeah.
He's also like deadlifting like 600 or 550
That's
something.
amazing stuff.
And like benching like 350, 400 like easy for reps. And the guy's like lean as hell. And, and young too, right?
Yeah,
So it's
he's like
and-
25.
Oh wow.
I don't train with Adam anymore, but I trained with him when I did my
When you did
powerlifting
your
competition. I
powerlifting.
train with
Okay.
my friends right now,
Nice.
so
Cool.
we all train together.
Amazing. Yourself?
I've been loosely following the cube method. Like I don't.
Shout out.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to
Brandon
Brandon.
Lilly.
Coming here soon.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah, I've heard. So I've been just doing like following the structure of workouts, not necessarily the 3x7 at 70%. Like I do what I'm comfortable doing, what feels right in the workout. I listen to my body. But I'll have the like main compound lift at the beginning, maybe 1 or 2 variations, and then do some accessories. Yeah, it's been working for me.
Just keep it simple, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the, you know, as you just said, it's like, you know, in the beginning, when I think one of the things as a powerlifting coach as well, is like, you know what, you don't need to be so fancy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just keep it simple. Nail down your reps, like 10,000 reps, then you can start getting fancy. Like,
Yeah.
Once you've squatted, or you've been in the game for like 5 to 8 years, and you're at a point where you're like, you know, when you're, for a girl, I would say, like, you're squatting like, you know, 300, and then you need to start adding more like advanced stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you're really once you start, you're already pulling like 300, so it's like once you start pulling like 350, 400, then definitely, you know, you'll need to start seeking more advice. When you're going to the States, and it will be easier
Yeah.
for you to like, hey, big squats, hey,
That's true.
One thing
hey,
that
Lydia Valentine. Look at her face, like she blushes when I said Lydia Valentine.
Stop! I think one of the things that also helps is that I find people, this happens so much. People come to me, I want to be a powerlifter, but I want to have lean as F body, or I want to look like a bodybuilder. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like,
Nope.
honestly, because I've fallen victim for this for so many times, because transitioning over from a aesthetics athlete to a strength athlete, you kind of fall into this hole so many times. What helped me a lot is honestly dumbing it down, like you said, and writing down, okay, why am I doing this exercise? How is this exercise going to help me? And if actually, I don't have my logbook at the moment, but if I show you my logbook, you got, for example, a certain WOD, rowing. Why am I rowing? For example, pull-ups. Why am I doing pull-ups? They help with my pulls. This helps with that. That helps with that. Can I do bicep curls? What am I going to get out of bicep curls? Like once every 2 weeks? Cool, whatever. But honestly speaking.
I think that's a very smart way of training. I think that's one of the things that, I mean, even in my videos that I'm putting on Instagram, it's the same idea. So know why you're doing it. Just because your coach puts it in or you've seen it somewhere, know why you're doing it, and is it going to be useful for you? Is the biggest question. It's like, you know, if you're like a power lifter and you're a sumo stance power lifter and you're practicing a front squat, or you're in like elevated heels and you're doing like a narrow stance squat for the last 4 to 5 months, is it really going to transfer?
No.
Like, probably not, right? You want to be
Muscle memory as well.
yeah, and a transference, right? So as you said, like, you know, it has to be useful for you.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you can't be bicep curling like all the time. And it's like, you know, one of the things that I noticed with okay, when you hit like at a certain point, like neutral grip hammer curls, cool. They build up the form
Yeah,
and
you
this.
need that.
That's like when you're hitting like the bodybuilder, typical like bodybuilder bicep workouts. Some of the really cool stuff that are not cool, but maybe like dangerous stuff, like when you're deadlifting and you're pulling, like there's so many bicep tendons that tear because your biceps are tight from that bicep workout, and you can notice too when people are competing. I remember I got this from Chris Fudge, you know, like we were, he was talking about it. He was like, you're in a competition, and you can see whose bicep tendon's going to snap. You know those guys with the big guns and stuff like that?
Yeah,
and they're
for
like,
sure.
their arms are here, and then they try to deadlift like 500.
Nah,
Well, guess what? You need to be here, right?
Yeah.
Like all the way.
Yeah.